again. This is the second phase of the training program, and I, on the behalf of the Ministry of Education, first of all, our Additional Secretary Sir, Shri Santosh Kumar Yadav Sir, who is the one who is guiding, who is directing us to run such big programs so that implementation of NIPUN Bharat mission happens in its full spirit. And I also welcome Rashi Sharma ma'am, who is a director in the Ministry of Education and the one who has designed NIPUN Bharat mission implementation guidelines and also guiding us how to implement the program. And she is constantly with us. Apart from that, I also welcome all the state officials, all the SPDs and the state directors, SCRTs, NIPUN nodals, and ATF, and especially ATF and DTF are the one for whom we have organized this program. I also welcome them. And also other, I came to know that other state officials are also with us who are very much engaged in the implementation of NIPUN Bharat mission, like PMUs and the teachers, other scholars are also with us. So, sir, for your information so far, because we have created a YouTube link for this program also, so many of the people are attending it using the direct link, and most of them are watching it using the YouTube link. So far more than 50,000 viewership has crossed by today. So we will be giving you actual data after this of second phase of this training program. And sir, we have designed this second phase basically looking at the implementation part and roles and responsibilities that has to be performed by the ATF and DTF members. So accordingly, we have planned to give them an overall view of different programs which are being conducted by the Ministry of Education, like LPD, PM Shri, and aspirational district, special need, use of ICT, so that everybody should understand that these programs are running, which are also supporting directly and indirectly NIPUN Bharat mission implementation. And that program is again very important to understand by the participants. So that's this is another agenda of this program, and also of how to create awareness and make everybody understand what is the role of different stakeholders, and mainly ATF and DTF members and state officials. So with this, sir, this phase is very important. In first, I request everybody to please mute yourself. Uh, so in the first phase, totally we were focusing on the academic inputs. Now academically, everybody understands what is NIPUN Bharat and what are the modalities, what are the lakshyas that has to be kept in mind while implementing the NIPUN Bharat mission implementation. And second phase is totally based on the monitoring the implementation and understanding the role and performing the role in a full spirit. So with this, sir, I request you to please encourage our participants and give your good wishes for the second phase of the training program.
Ministry officials, NCRT सेक्रेटरीज, एसपीडीज और इस प्रोग्राम में बहुत दूर दराज से जुड़े हुए एटीएफ मेंबर्स, डीटीएफ मेंबर्स, एक बार फिर आपका स्वागत है। दीपावली के त्यौहार के बाद, छुट्टियों के बाद बड़ी एनर्जी के साथ हम लोग फिर मिल रहे हैं और हम लोग बहुत द वर्ड इज ओवरजॉयड। जो फर्स्ट फेज हम लोगों ने 9 अक्टूबर से 10 दिन का किया, द काइंड ऑफ रिस्पॉन्स वी गॉट, वी आर ओवरवेल्म्ड। और आप इट वाइब्रेटेड थ्रू द नेशन। जहाँ से मेरी बात हुई, सब ने कहा साहब इससे हमें बहुत लेवल पे क्लैरिटी आई है। तो पार्ट 1 इसका ये था कि जैसा रितु बता रही थी, इट वॉज इन ए वे टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट। ये टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट था इसका कि भाई उसके लक्ष्य क्या हैं, अब इस प्रोग्राम को मॉनिटर कैसे करना है, गवर्न कैसे करना है। भाई एक चीज़ ये होता है कि टेक्निकली चीज़ को देना, दूसरा उसको मॉनिटर करना है। तो जो एटीएफ मेंबर है, डीटीएफ मेंबर है, इवन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफिशियल्स हैं, एनसीईआरटी, एससीईआरटी के ऑफिसर्स हैं, अब अगले नेक्स्ट 3 दिन हम लोग इस पे मंथन करेंगे कि हर एक की एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिवली रोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है। तो जितना ज़रूरी ये है था फर्स्ट फेज का टेक्निकल जानना उतना ही जरूरी ये है, इक्वली इफ नॉट लेस, इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिवली प्रोग्राम को मॉनिटर कर। एट द एंड ऑफ डे जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिवली जो रिपोर्ट्स आएंगी, कैसे फॉर्मेट्स भरे जाएंगे, कैसे आई मीन वीकली, मंथली, ट्राई मंथली, कैसे इन्फॉर्मेशन फ्लो होगी, कैसे फील्ड पर मॉनिटर करना है इसको, ये उतना ही ज़रूरी है। मुझे पूरा भरोसा है, मुझे पूरा भरोसा है। क्यों भरोसा? वी ऑल आर कमिटेड। मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020, इसके बहुत सारे घटक हैं, सो मेनी कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ इट। अगर मुझसे पूछा जाए कि इसका सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट क्या है, तो मैं कहूँगा
ఏంద్రా ఏంది రైతు నీకేం చెప్పినా నేను వేయాలా
Please mute yourself.
మీ పరకు తీసుకోండి మీ పరకలో ఏమనేది అవి తిక్కు కొట్టుకోండి
Uh-huh.
अगर मुझसे सब, इफ आई एम टू आस्क द मोस्ट foundational literacy and numeracy, Rasi is over here, and I have seen Rasi last 2 years, जब से ये NEP लॉन्च हुई, इसके नट्स बोल्ट्स बनाने में हाउ मच हार्ट एंड सोल शी हैज पुट इन, हाउ मच हार्ट एंड सोल NCERT हैज पुट इन। तो इसको इतना सारा 2 साल की जो मेहनत का निचोड़ है, दैट्स आई मीन द एक्सट्रैक्ट हैज बीन गिवन टू यू। और जरूरी ये है, ताली कब अच्छी बजती है? ताली तब अच्छी बजती है, दोनों हाथ नहीं, 5 + 5 10 उंगलियां और दोनों हथेलियां साथ आती हैं। तो यू ऑल आर ऑल, आप जो यहाँ पर ATF मेंबर, DTF मेंबर, BO, CRC, BRC, ये सब इस हाथ की जो ताली, इसकी लाइन से इसका अंग है। जब तक हम सब, ताली अच्छी तभी बजेगी, ताली तभी रेजोनेंस से बजेगी जब हम सब लोग एक साथ मिल जाएंगे। नेशन के लिए इससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं हो सकता। हाँ, हम लोग एक पता है अपने देश में IITs, IIMs हैं जो दुनिया में बहुत अच्छी कर रही हैं, लेकिन जब स्कूलों की बात आती है, स्कूलों को जो इंटरनेशनल एग्जाम होता है जिसे कहते हैं पीसा में 85 कंट्री हिस्सा लेती हैं, तो हम 80 नंबर पर आते हैं। जबकि आप एक तरफ कहते हो कि दुनिया के जितनी इनोवेशंस हैं सिलिकॉन वैली में इंडिया नहीं कर रहे हैं, और कर भी रहे हैं, तो हम भाई कहाँ पिछड़ गए? कहीं ना कहीं आई मीन देयर इज प्रॉब्लम समवेयर ना। प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि जो ग्रास रूट पर कंसेप्ट समझने चाहिए वो कंसेप्ट नहीं आते बच्चे को। मग लेता है, द वर्ड इज मग, मगिंग कर लेता है बच्चा। तो वो कैसे कंसेप्ट समझना, जैसे आप NEP कहता है ना, ये FLN क्या कहता है? रीडिंग विद कॉम्प्रिहेंशन। ये तो कहता है। कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का मतलब क्या है? कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का मतलब ये है कि जो पढ़ रहा है उसको समझ भी रहा है, इम्बाइब कर रहा है। इम्बाइब करने का मतलब क्या है कि उसको डे टू डे प्रैक्टिकल रियलिटी है उससे जोड़ ले रहा है वो। अगर डे टू डे में अगर कोई बच्चा यहाँ से, अगर उदाहरण के लिए FLN क्या कहता है? FLN ये कहता है, इस समय सिडनी में क्रिकेट मैच चल रहा है, इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा है। तो अगर FLN समझ में आ गया, बच्चे को समझ में आ गया, तो मैं इस समय ये जोड़ लूँगा कि भाई सिडनी भाई जो ग्राफ है, जो मैप है, वर्ल्ड का मैप है, सिडनी जाने के लिए ये कंट्री पार करेंगे हम। ये दिमाग में पिक्चर आएगी, ये कंट्री पार करेंगे, ये ओशन पार करेंगे, ये अच्छा हेलीकॉप्टर से, उससे जहाज से जाएंगे, जहाज इतनी जाता है, इतनी डिस्टेंस है। यानी कि क्या है कि अगर जिस दिन मैं ये समझ जाऊंगा कि पढ़ाई का कैसे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, कैसे इसके कंसेप्ट आते हैं, उस दिन मैं पीसा में स्कोर करना शुरू कर दूंगा। उस दिन मैं, वो कहते हैं ना कि दुनिया में इतने सारे रिसर्च पेपर लिखे जाते हैं, इंडियन रिसर्च पेपर नहीं लिख पाते। क्यों नहीं लिख पाते रिसर्च पेपर? बेसिक फंडे गोल है, बेसिक फंडे मतलब प्रैक्टिकल फंडे गोल है। फंडे किताब में जो लिखे वो तो बहुत सारे को पता है, वो फंडे के पीछे हाइपोथेसिस क्या है, वो हाइपोथेसिस आएगी कहाँ से? अगर FLN में फाउंडेशन लिटरेसी न्यूमरेसी मिशन जो लॉन्च किया है, जिसमें इतनी मेहनत की गई इस डॉक्यूमेंट बनाने के लिए, अगर उसके स्पिरिट से मैं हम बच, तो माई सिंसियर हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट, ये जो आज ये 30-40 हज़ार लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं इसको, जो 2-3 हज़ार इस पर हैं और बाकी यूट्यूब से, अंग्रेज एक उर्दू में वर्ड है तामीर। जब एफएलएन की तामीर लिखी जाएगी, जब पीसा में स्कोर आने शुरू हो जाएंगे, तो इसकी तामीर ये 30-40 हज़ार लोग मिलकर लिखेंगे। वी आर द वन, वी आर द वन। जब पीसा का स्कोर आएगा कुछ सालों बाद, जब पेपर सबमिट होने शुरू हो जाएंगे, जब कंसेप्ट क्लैरिटी, तो वी आर द वन एट द एंड ऑफ डे। हम भी जब तसल्ली से बैठ के चाय पी रहे होंगे मॉर्निंग में, याद आएगा ये, तो हम अपने को गौरवान्वित में विल फील अवर सेल्फ इलेटेड, यस वी आर द वन हु पुट अवर हार्ट एंड सोल इनटू इट, और आज उसकी वजह से ये हो रहा है। ये इसके फ्रूट्स हैं, ये इसके फ्रूट्स हैं, बिकॉज दैट द फ्रूट्स व्हेन वी आर एट काम एट ईज वी हैव द सोलेस। उस समय, उस लम्हे, उस मोमेंट्स में जब ये बातें याद आएंगी, तो हमारे दिल को जो सुकून मिलेगा, वो उसकी आज शुरुआत की जा रही है। तो मेरा बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मेरा भाषण में ख़त्म होता है। थैंक यू, शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। आई थिंक सब लोग इमोशनल हो गए होंगे, मैं भी हो गई, बिकॉज दिस इज द अल्टीमेट एम। लक्ष्यास हो जाएंगे, पर कहीं ना कहीं निपुण चाइल्ड जो आप कह रहे हैं, और एक अच्छा सिटीजन निपुण जो NEP 2020 कहता ही है कि नंबर 1 सिटीजन बनेगा हर बच्चा, ऐसा NEP का विजन है। उसी विजन को देखते हुए फाउंडेशनल स्टेज पर लॉट ऑफ लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज, designing the educational opportunities has been done by the Ministry of Education very and a very the department has come out with a beautiful document, NIPUN Bharat, to ensure that every child is becomes the निपुण child. और सर आपने सही कहा कि ताली के लिए उंगलियों की बहुत ज़रूरत है, एंड एवरीबडी, जो 10 उंगलियां हैं शायद हमारी स्टेट में ही है, हर स्टेट ऑफिशियल का अपना एक रोल है। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस सर, फॉर दिस मोटिवेटिंग statements for all of us. And now I request Rashi ma'am. Rashi ma'am is the one who has designed this document, beautiful document, जो ग्रीन किताब आपके हाथ में है, इतनी क्लैरिटी से लिखी हुई सेक्शन ए और सेक्शन बी। तो सेक्शन ए हमारा भी ऑब्जेक्टिव यही था कि फेज 1 में हम आपको पूरा सेक्शन ए जो निपुण भारत का है वो समझा दें, वो बता दें। Later on we have thought that we will use the same platform to elaborate upon more upon each chapter that is given in Nipun Bharat, so that we can have more understanding. और आपको पता ही है, we have asked you, requested you to come out with ideas कि और किस पर आपको sessions चाहिए, so that in future also we can resolve your issues, handhold as much as we can. And second phase now, जो second part है, B part of the Nipun Bharat mission is the second phase. The objectives of the second phase is to ensure that we all understand the second part. So Rashi ma'am is with us. We would like to hear from her because she has designed that document. She is the one who has made all of us clear what are our roles and responsibilities, and how we can implement. Because first year we have spent on planning of Nipun Bharat mission implementation. Now we have already headed towards actual implementation of the mission at the ground level. So ma'am, we would like to hear from you what points, what are the important aspects which we all should, from the national to the grassroots level, what we should keep in mind while implementing the Nipun Bharat mission in future.
Thank you so much, Rituji. I hope I'm audible properly. So thank you, and I think after the inspiring word of Santosh sir, I think the program has started with a bang, and I really congratulate Rituji for organizing this comprehensive training program, because I have had the opportunity to interact with you all in the first phase also. So there are few points. I would not take much time of you, because I am hoping that by this time you would have understand what Nipun Bharat is and why it is important. But again, I would like to reiterate few points for your consideration. As ASR has rightly pointed out, that the most transformatory recommendation of NEP is, foundational literacy and numeracy. Like all of us are aware that we are having 10+2 structure at present in which, board exams are given very much importance, and we often heard saying, nahi, 10th ke board chal rahe hain, abhi bahut padhna hai, 12th ke boards hai. So, you know, uh, with this, there is a mindset also ki 10th and 12th are important. But, a child reaches to 10th and 12th class after, completing whole journey of 10 years, So the child, when he starts his journey at school, these are, I think, most important years, most formative years, because you are inculcating certain habits into him, and that will decide his future trajectory, that how he is going to perform in his later years. And this is what NEP also talks about, and it gives so much importance to universal access to quality early childhood care and education, and foundational literacy and numeracy, because we have had many researches available now which are, which have actually proven that if you are not able to attain foundational literacy by grade 3, your the chances of dropping out of that particular the child is, much more high. So we have to really focus on these formative years, and I'm really glad that so many people are, so many people are working for this task, because it's like the mission is of course for 5 years, but it is a continuous task. It is just like that we have to understand the importance of formative years. The focus has to shift to, first 5 years of the child, 3 years of, quality ECCE, and afterwards the foundational stage. So one thing which I would like to, really urge you, which you can take on priority, is the reading, reading with comprehension. If you ask one thing which is the most important skill which would improve our foundational literacy and numeracy levels, is the reading. I'm not talking about reading from textbooks. I'm talking of about reading of anything, any age appropriate text, any storybooks, any poem, any rhymes. So if we are able to inculcate the habit of reading, then half the battle is won. And as you must be aware that we have had reading campaign started in January 2022, and at that time COVID was actually peaking again, and most of the schools were closed. But despite that, we have had an overwhelming response for that campaign, and I'm really glad to tell you that every week almost 2 crores children were participating in that reading campaign. We had designed week wise activities, and it was a voluntary kind of a program, and this is what is giving me so much hope that Nipun Bharat will succeed in its objectives, because when the things becomes voluntary, then everybody works towards that. So this is one thing which I would like to tell you, that please focus on reading any age appropriate text. you know a child should read, and if we are able to inculcate the habit of reading, then he will definitely become the lifelong learners, which is the ultimate objective of the education, and which is the objective of the NEP, and it will also help in the holistic development of the child. And second thing which I would like to tell about is that we have conducted a national achievement survey. We have also conducted foundational learning study. Results are out, so you can actually pinpoint that where child is lacking in which particular stage or which particular skill. So you can use those results to plan for practical interventions. You can design interventions as per your need, and uh, and you can fulfill the objectives of this mission. And the last thing which I would like to focus upon is the community participation from the parents, participation from each member of the community, because to succeed, I mean to achieve the objectives of this mission, which we have envisaged, the participation from all the community members and especially parents is essential, because we have seen during the COVID time how did the learning continued. That was because the support of the parents and the support, of course, provided by the schools and states and UTs. But the involvement of parents, let me tell you, have had very positive impact on any child, because in early years almost 80% of a child's time is spent at home. So we have to have certain activities which we can do with kids. We can read aloud with kids. We can sit together as a parent and read with child. We can read storybooks together. We can do some show and tell activities. And here I would also like to draw your attention that there would be many children in government schools who are first generation learners. So there is a tendency to think कि नहीं, parents नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं तो how can they play a role in child's education. But ऐसा नहीं है, आप उनको guide कर सकते हो. Like every parent, whether he is literate illiterate, उसको basic numeracy आती है, क्योंकि वो रोज हिसाब किताब अपना करता है, सब्जी लेने जाता है या जो भी सामान लेने जाता है, he knows that. So we can tell simple things, that if a mother is cooking food, she can ask the child to get some vegetables, okay, get 4 tomatoes or get 4 potatoes. So that is how both mother and child can be involved in certain activities. So I would actually request Rituji to please design such activities and handhold states where parents are not so literate. How can they play a role in child's learning journey? That would be very, very important. And lastly, I would really request you to make this mission a success, and let it be voluntary, let it be self-inspiring, let it be self-motivating, so that it becomes a continuous process. It becomes so voluntary that we don't even feel that we are doing something very special. So thank you so much for providing me this opportunity. And once again, many congratulations to Ritu Chandra ji and ASR for organizing such a wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving many tips to us, and also the future directions in a very simple way. And of course, that's very important to make everybody understand that they have their own role, whether they are parents or the community, because the community and parents, they have the major role to ensure that children are learning in any situation, in any condition. So for that, ma'am, I would like to just inform you that you have developed the home-based learning guidelines in 2021, and Haryana State has helped us in translation of that document, and we have circulated and uploaded the document on Diksha FLN, so that at least parents will have that understanding on what kind of activities can be organized for children at home. So वो एक हम कर रहे हैं, and second, I think of course we need to make sure that it is happening. So for that we will be future. And yes, it is very important that everybody, it should come as a natural. uh, they should not, nobody should feel that they are doing something different. It should be a part of the process. The Nipun Bharat mission implementation should be a part of the process. And I would like to inform you that states, all the states have come out with the unique ideas and good practices. So they have shared with us during the national conference on foundational literacy and numeracy that has happened on 11th and 12th of July, and the report is now released. We are trying to, there are some modifications left in the soft copy. We will be sharing the report very soon with the states, and also we are planning conference for the states that would be specific to making them a platform to share their best practices which suits them best in their situation, so that the implementation is natural, it is not imposed, it is coming from the ground. So that's how we have planned the future for this program. uh, with this, now we are heading towards the first session during this second phase, and this second phase is actually for 3 days, that is fully packed morning evening, so that we thought of completing it as soon as possible, so that all the states can go ahead with their training programs accordingly. So today the session will be taken by Rashi ma'am and Tara. I think most of you already know Tara. She is a chief consultant and the right hand or a left hand, both the hands of Rashi ma'am in designing NIPUN Bharat mission implementation document. And Tara has a 12 years of experience and specialization in child psychology and teacher education. She has been an instrumental for the designing and refining the NEP 2020 document. So the person who is working in this area, starting from the genesis of the National Education Policy 2020. So I welcome Tara to you for this program. So today's session is on understanding NIPUN Bharat mission implementation structure. So these two experts are with us who have designed the NIPUN Bharat document and are going to give you the crux of this document in this session. So over to both of you, ma'am.
So thank you so much, Rituji, and she has rightly pointed out that Tara has been part of the core team who has drafted this document, and she's been, there with us since we have started this work, and she is absolutely the right person to talk about, to take today's session. So I would not take much of your time, and I would over to Tara for a detailed presentation. And if there are any questions, we'll be happy to take up after the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I'll just share my PPT. Just 1 minute, I'll put it on. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Your PPT is also visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, I'll be speaking on understanding the implementation structure and accordingly devising mechanism for coordination for the NIPUN Bharat mission. So for this, I'll just take you through the objectives of the mission. I'm sure most of you are aware that the program is being implemented on mission mode under the integrated scheme of Samagra with the Department of School Education and Literacy as the implementing agency. And the objectives are ensuring an inclusive classroom environment, enabling children to become motivated and engaged readers and writers with comprehension, making children understand the reasoning, the basic mathematical operations in terms of numbers, measurements, and shapes, ensuring availability of effective and usable, high quality and locally contextualized teaching learning materials, preferably in the children's mother tongue. Then focusing for the focus also, more importantly, the focus will be on continuous professional development of teachers, head teachers, academic resource persons, and educational administrators. Then actively engaging with all stakeholders for the effective implementation of this NIPUN Bharat mission. Then linking assessment tools with the learning outcomes and capacities as per specific subjects for the foundational stage. And last but not most importantly, ensuring tracking of learning levels of all students in the foundational stage. It's not going. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm just. Okay. Next, I'm going on to the administrative approaches and the roles of various stakeholders and institutions in the mission. First of all, we need to understand that the national mission will have a 5-tier implementation mechanism, which will be set up at the national, the state, the district, the block, and the school level. And accordingly, the roles and responsibilities of the Department of School Education and Literacy at the National Mission would include preparing the strategy document and implementation framework for the affluent mission, preparing learning matrices and toolkits, then conducting a nationwide exercise for identifying learning gaps. In fact, the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the NCERT has recently conducted and come out with the report of the foundational learning study in which for benchmark setting of oral reading fluency comprehension in 20 Indian languages. The report is available on the school education website, education.gov.in. I'm sure many of you can go and access to the reports and go through the findings. In addition to that, the other functions are creating of innovative pedagogies and creating a robust IT-based solution for monitoring as well as tracking of the progress, ensuring community and parental engagement through various awareness drives, and undertaking continuous capacity building of teachers, head teachers, academic persons, and administrators. Then creating a common platform for developing strategies and also encouraging states to adopt IT-based solutions as well as enabling cross-learning among states. The role of NCRT would be developing a curriculum and pedagogical framework. Here also, most of you must be aware that the National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage was launched recently on 20th August, wherein the emphasis on play-based and story-based approach for holistic development of a child in all domains, as in cognitive, socio-emotional, and physical. And also the NCF also highlights the importance of mother tongue as a primary language for instruction, especially at the foundational stage. The NCRT has also conducted, devised a specialized national initiative for school heads and teachers holistic development program, NISHTA. Everyone must be knowing about NISHTA for teachers in the foundational stage, and this was conducted in 2021-22 with the aim of covering about 25 lakhs primary school teachers. This is in the final lap right now, and we are consolidating data for that. In addition to that, the NCRT has to analyze the gaps through assessments and developing tools. Like I said earlier, the NCRT, in collaboration with Ministry, has conducted a foundational learning study for grade 3 students, in which about 86,000 grade 3 students have participated across the country. Then, in addition, the NCRT has also developed Vidya Pravesh. I'm sure all of you are aware. This is the 3-month play-based school preparation module for students entering in order to make them school ready. And I'm given to understand that all 36 states and UTs have implemented Vidya Pravesh in the academic session 2022-23. In the other institutions that are involved in the implementation of the NIPUN Bharat mission will be the Central Board of Secondary Education also, wherein the CBSE has already introduced competency-based education in all its classes from grade 1 to 12 in all the CBSE affiliated schools as per the learning outcomes of the NCRT, and presently is working with the NCRT for codification and matrix, development of codification and matrix for learning outcomes. Similarly, the Kendra Vidyalaya Sangathan has also started introducing competency-based education at the primary level, and accordingly, they are also adapting the learning outcome matrix of the CBSE and the NCRT. As you know, the State Council for Education, Research and Training, the SCRTs, are the nodal academic authority in all states and UT or the RT Act. And accordingly, they are designing and developing the curriculum, instructional designs. They are conducting a capacity building of teachers and academic resource person, developing locally contextualized TLMs, as well as training modules and other resources in local languages, in addition to additional learning materials for foundational stage, with a specific emphasis on local context by involving, of course, local experts. Under this, the role of the private schools is also quite critical for their participation in the key stage assessments, as well as the private schools will also be included in any kind of communications institute that is given from the central level for creating awareness on the importance of foundational learning and its impact on children's learning outcomes. The district institutes of education and training, as you all know, I'm sure, are the nodal agencies at the district level for meeting district specific needs. So accordingly, its diet will be developing an academic resource pool specifically for FLN, comprising of teachers, teacher educators, district education planners, and faculties from university departments of education. The role of the district education officers and block education officers is also vital in ensuring timely distribution of free textbooks, uniforms, teaching learning materials, and any other resources provided by the specific state or UT administration. In addition to keeping track of different training programs on foundational literacy and numeracy, and ensuring capacity building of primary teachers in their jurisdiction. The block resource centers and the cluster resource centers are vital units for monitoring and review. Accordingly, they will do the monitoring and supervision of the progress of activities against the FLN goals at the block and cluster level, as well as designing a comprehensive quality improvement plan for foundational literacy and numeracy. The school management committees also have an important role to play in the sense that active participation of the SMCs, community and parents in teaching learning process in order to ensure accountability and sustainability of the mission. Then even the community also have a vital role to play in ensuring regular attendance of children, as well as in providing and ensuring provision of enough opportunities for children to progress in their learning through conduct of different activities in the home environment. The states and UTs are also have been advised to advised to work with the NGOs and the civil society organizations in capacity building and development of resources, sustained mobilization and awareness programs, and also facilitating a process of social audit through community involvement. States and UTs can also prepare guidelines for engaging peer groups and other local volunteers in order to achieve the goals of FLN, especially for children by the end of grade 3. And for community involvement, various activities can be organized with the support of the teachers and the Anganwadi workers, such as school readiness melas, readings, quiz competitions, etc. Last but not the least, the lees and panchayats also have an important role to play in facilitating baseline analysis in order to identify struggling learners, ensuring 100% enrollment of all children in the panchayat at appropriate levels, ensuring zero dropout and no out-of-school children, and at the same time connecting volunteer parents to schools for the achieving the goals of the FLN mission. Sorry. Okay, now I come to the support structures for the National NIPUN Bharat mission. And first of all, at the national level, the support structures are the National Steering Committee and the Project Management Unit, and their roles and responsibilities for the NIPUN Bharat mission will be for the National Steering Committee, overseeing the progress of the mission and providing guidance, arriving at the targets to be achieved nationally by 2026-27, disseminating tools for measurement in the form of guidelines, and preparing a national action plan which would identify the gaps in terms of funds, vacancies, teachers, local issues, needs for training, etc. Then climatic and financial norms periodically, which would be synchronized with the targets to be achieved, and also developing methodology of assessment to analyze the progress and accordingly providing feedback to states and UTs. In addition to that, the project management unit at the national level will create a national 5-year roadmap and annual roadmaps, and also provide guidance for annual implementation plan, set actionable goals for the state PMU, conduct a time-bound analysis of the FLN for informed planning, and execute well-defined IEC plan for all mass communication activities such as ad films, radios, newspapers, etc. provide clear procurement guidelines for TLM resources in terms of monitoring, budgeting, disbursement, utilization, audits, etc. Creating a monitoring framework to highlight the successes and metrics for each mission component, develop a robust data collection framework, and also promote cross-learning and sharing among states through regional and national workshops. These are the important roles of the PMU. Now I come to the state mission, where the support structure would be the state project management unit. Again, here the role would be developing annual roadmap and annual implementation plans for the state and district, setting actionable goals based on the national level goals, conducting awareness and capacity building of all stakeholders on multilingual education, ensuring availability of rich material in the classroom, child-friendly infrastructure, as well as digital resources to support teachers. Then encouraging innovative pedagogies in order to give children the experience of joy and real-life situation in the classrooms. Then coordinating with the SCRT for developing state-specific targets for oral reading fluency as well as learning outcomes achievement. Designing IT-based MIS e-governance to relate it to administrative work in order to reduce the burden of administrative work on teachers. Then based on the national mission guidelines, come up with a comprehensive communication plan for the state. Conducting intensive awareness drives to motivate communities, parents, teachers, and students for attaining the goal of FLN. Then promoting cross-learning through workshops and exchange of best practices, designing independent assessments, summative assessment, and formative assessment based on the national guidelines, and conducting NIT assessment exercise for teaching learning materials as well as teacher professional development to assist the district PMUs, and developing a district-wide strategy for data collection and reporting based on the national framework, and finally building district-wide dashboards to allow database decision-making. The next, I'm sure all of you, most of you are members of the academic task force also. I'm sure you're aware of your roles and responsibilities, but still I would like to reiterate the same. The role of the academic task force would be maintaining the database of every FLN teacher and school center, conduct follow-up of the progress of FLN and provide necessary academic support, maintaining a list of available FLN resources both at the national and state level, monitoring the implementation of the holistic progress card and other assessment. I would like to inform you that CBSE has come up with the format for the holistic progress card and is presently being piloted in about 50 schools. So whenever it is finalized, we hope to share the design with all states and UTs. Then provide support for translation of resources in local languages, and of course, maintaining strong linkages with the Samagra Shiksha scheme, conducting regular capacity building programs for teachers, school heads, administrators, then following up with the teachers who have already taken this program, programs for further necessary support, and working in close coordination with the state project management units and periodically reporting the progress to these district and state level steering committees. There are some critical enablers that we have identified for effective implementation of the NIPUN Bharat mission. And these are availability of adequate number of trained teachers, regular teacher attendance, and reduction in the administrative burden. In fact, the ministry has recently conducted an online survey on the amount of time spent by teachers on non-teaching activities. Hopefully in a month's time, we'll be coming out with a report. So we get an idea where we would be coming up with some suggestions on how to reduce the burden also. Timely delivery of uniforms, textbooks, preferably at the start of the academic session, ensuring basic facilities at every primary schools, and ensuring RTE norms, identifying Apollo mentors, which includes teacher senior retired teachers, as well as faculties from the higher education institutions and the University Department of Education. Then strengthened institutions, that is SCRTs, DIETs, BRCs, and CRCs, and of course, adequate budget provision, which is very important. There are also some key key performance indicators. Most of the interventions under the NIPUN Bharat missions have key performance indicators for monitoring the implementation of the some of the important key performance indicators we have highlighted here, which includes the percentage of children enrolled in grade 1 who have undergone the school preparation module. Which is the Vidya Pravesh transition rate from Bal Vatika to class 5, teacher manuals, activity books prepared on FLN in local languages, as well as special resource material for children with disabilities developed. A percentage of teachers teaching grade 1 to 3 involved in creating teacher resources, specific teacher training module focusing on, in fact, NISHTA FLN was already conducted by NCRT in 2021-22. Number of times the CRC, BRC visits the school to assess performance, percentage of students acquiring grade level competencies in language and literacy in grade 3, and percentage of foundational year students that have access to a core TLM as supplementary graded materials. These are some important key performance indicators which would be monitored throughout the year on a yearly basis. Now I come to the academic roadmap that for the NIPUN Bharat mission. First of all, for strategic planning over the next 4 to 5 years for the implementation of the NIPUN Bharat mission, the focus areas would be on goal setting, pedagogical aspects in curriculum, teaching learning materials and processes, capacity building, learning assessment, stakeholder engagement, IIC materials, and creating a robust IT system. Now I will come to the specific components. For goal setting, the different steps are for number 1, train teachers, heads of schools, principals, educational administrators, teaching learning materials in all languages, including in mother tongue, defined and measurable learning outcomes based on the NCRT learning outcomes, the learning outcomes mapped to the curriculum, national achievement surveys and state achievement surveys to be held every alternate years. As you are aware, the National Achievement Survey was conducted in 2021. So accordingly, state can go ahead with the National State Achievement Survey in the ensuing year. Holistic progress card consisting of teacher, parents, self and peer review. States and UTs are expected to come up with their format for the HPC. So they should keep into consideration that the component of teacher, parents, self and peer assessment while developing the HPC. Then pedagogical aspects in curriculum, as I already mentioned, the Ministry of Education has recently come out with a national curriculum framework for foundational stage. So this will be followed for the pedagogical and curriculum aspects planning. For capacity building, the aim is to focus on learner-led activity and experience-based learning process, encouraging partnerships with experts and civil society organizations for development of all kinds of resources. Then the emphasis is on strengthening the capacities of implementing agencies such as the SCRTs, the DIETs, the BRCs, and the CRCs. Then teachers would be specifically trained on pedagogical trainings required for teaching foundational skills. Then, of course, NAS and school-based assessment will also be conducted at the school level. At regular school-based assessment will be conducted regularly at the school level. Assessment, therefore, the assessment will be on the following levels: school-based assessment, state-level assessment through the state achievement survey assessments, and also the national achievement survey. These are the different form of assessment that would be conducted for the foundational learning, for foundational literacy and numeracy. For school-based assessment or foundational literacy and numeracy, like I mentioned earlier, a holistic 360-degree multidimensional report in terms of the HPC would need to be designed to measure the progress of the child. So, like I mentioned earlier, CBSE has come out with the format, and the pilot is going on. So, hopefully, we'll be able to share it in the near. Next is the teaching, learning materials and classroom practices. NCRT, as the nodal agency, academic authority, would be developing extensive online training modules as well as resources in local languages. In addition to the core materials, additional learning resources will also be developed, which are highly engaging and innovative. Then classroom transactions will include defined learning outcomes, activity-based teaching learning exercises, as well as this teaching learning will be linked to daily life situations. And there will be extensive use of toys, games, sports, and puzzles in the classroom. And children will be encouraged to read written word wherever it is available. Like, for example, while passing, reading the school name on the board, your bus stand name, etc. Next is how to develop a robust IT system at the national, first of all, at the national and state level, robust IT system for enhancing the capacities of stakeholders and also for monitoring the progress at the state level, going down to the school level. It will be developed a monitoring tool to track the progress of each child subject-wise, class-wise, school-wise. And at the school level, it will be developed as a tool for assessment and child tracking for progress in achieving FLN through the HPC. For generating awareness under stakeholder engagement and IEC material for generating awareness among the community, IEC materials will be designed in simple format and that too in regional languages for wider dissemination. Then social media platforms will also be utilized as an important tool for awareness among the stakeholders. Then there will also be periodic feedback from the self, the peers, parents through questionnaires, to understand the level of parental involvement as well as to indicate the areas that require more focus. Oh, sorry, I think is my screen visible? Is my PPT visible? Sorry, I think I've lost the PPT.
No, it is not visible, Tara.
Okay, I'm just going back to the PPT. This one. Okay, is it visible now?
I think it's coming. Yeah, now it is visible.
Okay, this is my live slide where I am emphasizing on the way forward. As the important thing is to have a repository of resources as well as a preparation of an
Tara, you're not audible.
Light has gone in the ministry in our
Okay.
wing. That's
So
why she might have got disconnected.
yeah, I'm receiving a call also. So we will wait for her to come back.
Yeah, yes. So,
So Ashwini ji, we'll wait for a couple. Do let us know if the light has come back
we have to wait
in
for another
time or
5
not.
minutes till the light is restored.
Yeah. While we wait for Tara to join back, the presentation, she was almost through with the presentation. If anyone has questions till so far what was discussed, you can put it on the chat or raise your hand. We will be happy to take that forward.
सवाल हो तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, चैट बॉक्स में भी लिख सकते हैं। यू कैन रेज योर हैंड। पूछिए।
हेलो।
जी कनिका जी पूछिए।
जी, मुझे पूछना था कि हमें जो
यू
एफएलएन
कैन आस्क।
मटेरियल हुआ है। हेलो। हेलो।
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. You may ask your question now.
हाँ जी जी, मुझे पूछना था कि जो हमें एफएलएन मटेरियल रिसीव हुआ है 1, 2 एंड 3 के लिए न्यूमरेसी किट रिसीव हुआ है, तो मुझे पूछना था कि
सॉरी,
अ,
एक बार आप रिपीट कर सकते हैं? सॉरी।
जी, मैं डिमा हासाओ डिस्ट्रिक्ट से हूँ, असम के।
यस।
जी, हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हमें एफएलएन मटेरियल रिसीव हुआ है, जो क्लास 1, 2 एंड 3 के लिए है, और वो न्यूमरेसी किट है, मतलब न्यूमरेसी रिलेटेड किट है वो। तो मुझे पूछना था कि हमें क्या लिटरेसी रिलेटेड किट्स भी रिसीव होंगे क्या, वो पूछना था। प्लस हमें क्या पूरे स्कूल के लिए, जैसे कि 1 से एलपी के लिए पूछना था कि पूरे स्कूल के लिए 1 से 5 तक क्या किट रिसीव होगा क्या, स्कूल के लिए जो टीचर यूज करेंगे क्लास डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन के लिए।
ये तो आपके स्टेट लेवल से ही पता लगेगा कि किस तरह से वो डिज़ाइन कर रहे हैं लिटरेसी के ऊपर मटेरियल या न्यूमरेसी के ऊपर। तो इसका जवाब तो हम नहीं दे पाएंगे, बट ये आपके स्टेट के एससीईआरटी और स्टेट एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट है, आई थिंक वो वहाँ पे एड्रेस हो सकता है क्वेश्चन।
Another question on the chat about SAT. We didn't combine the already said here.
सैस के बारे में एक्चुअली एक सवाल है, और आर द स्टेट्स एक्सपेक्टेड टू डेवलप देयर ओन मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम ऐप, और विल द सेंट्रल टीम डिवाइस ए मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम ऐप रियल टाइम डेटा सिस्टम विच द स्टेट्स विल इम्प्लीमेंट। ये अच्छा क्वेश्चन है। एक्चुअली सेंट्रल लेवल पे एक ब्रॉड डिजाइन जरूर कोई शेयर किया जाएगा इन ड्यू कोर्स, बट स्टेट स्पेसिफिक जो उसकी नुआंसेस होंगी वो स्टेट को ही डिजाइन करनी होंगी। तो सेंट्रल लेवल पे एक ब्रॉड स्ट्रक्चर जरूर प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा, मे बी इन कपल ऑफ मंथ्स। बट स्टेट लेवल पे मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम वो किस लेवल पे रखना चाहते हैं, कितना इंटेंस रखना चाहते हैं, कितना बड़े स्तर पे करना चाहते हैं, वो स्टेट का अपना डिजाइन होगा, उसका स्टेट का अपना मैकेनिज्म होगा। बट ब्रॉड गाइडिंग प्रिंसिपल डेफिनेटली विल कम फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल लेवल इन फ्यूचर ऑल्सो। बट इट्स नॉट दैट कि जरूरत है कि सेंट्रल लेवल से कुछ आएगा देन दे कैन स्टार्ट देयर ओन मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम ऐप और डिजाइन। दे आर फ्री टू डिजाइन, आई मीन they want to, they can start. I mean, many states have already started their monitoring system app or something like that. So they are free to do it actually. ओके, एक रूपाली जी का क्वेश्चन है। गुड मॉर्निंग मैम, do we need to conduct SAS state survey every alternate year? This is what actually is expected, क्योंकि हम ऑल्टरनेट ईयर पे नैस और सैस की बात कर रहे हैं, तो स्टेट अपना जैसे एनईपी भी हमारा कह रहा है कि ऑल्टरनेट ईयर पे सैस और नैस होना चाहिए, और थर्ड पार्टी असेसमेंट की बात भी हो रही है। तो स्टेट कैन ऑलवेज डिजाइन, बिकॉज अभी तो नैस के रिजल्ट्स ही आए हैं, तो इस साल हम 22-23 में तो हम उन्हीं को यूज कर रहे होंगे। मे बी 24 में कैन बी डिजाइन बाय स्टेट्स, दे कैन डू इट, एंड देन 25 में फिर शायद नैस होगा, कुछ इस तरह से ऑल्टरनेट वे पे सैस और नैस का कॉम्बिनेशन चलेगा। और कोई प्रश्न? थर्ड पार्टी असेसमेंट बेसिकली ये है कि नैस तो एनसीईआरटी के द्वारा कराया जाता है, और जो सैस है जनरली एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट करता है। तो अ, और थोड़ा सा उसको अगर कई स्टेट एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट खुद से नहीं करके, दे कैन हायर, ऑलवेज हायर द थर्ड एजेंसी टू डू दैट. So that is also has been said in NIPUN Bharat guidelines. Maybe they do education department खुद से SAS ना करके, they want to have a third party assessment. They can always hire some agency and design a large scale assessment in the same manner as they do the SAS or NCRT do the NAS. इनफैक्ट NAS और SAS से रिलेटेड मैं इंफॉर्मेशन और बताना चाहता हूँ। एज यू नो, एनईपी 2020 में एक असेसमेंट सेंटर की बात करी गई है परख नाम से। आई थिंक उस पे भी काफ़ी अभी काम तेजी से कर रही है एनसीईआरटी। एक बार वो इन प्लेस होगा, तो जितने भी असेसमेंट रिलेटेड चीज़ें हैं, गाइडलाइंस वगैरह, उस सेंटर के थ्रू मेनली आया करेंगी। तो आई थिंक जो हम कह रहे थे मॉनिटरिंग के लिए, या फिर सैस का डिज़ाइन, या इवन नैस भी उसके थ्रू ही होगा बेसिकली, एंड इट विल बी हाउस्ड इन एनसीईआरटी। एंड वो असेसमेंट को लेके काफ़ी तरह की गाइडलाइंस स्टेट्स के लिए, और काफ़ी तरह का टेक्निकल नो हाउ के लिए स्टेट्स को मदद किया करेगा। So that is also in the pipeline, and hopefully in coming few months it will be in place in NCRT. And after that, I think related to monitoring, related to assessment, lot of technical now know-how will be coming through that center.
Vinita, I'm back. Hello. Yeah, I just want to clarify that Parak has already been set up in NCRT. The Educational Survey Division has been notified as Parak. So Professor Indrani is currently heading the survey division. So that way she's heading the Parak right now. So they have already established, notified, and they have started work on assessment. For all assessment intervention, any assessment related work, they will be taken care of for all state, for the national as well as the state and UTs also. And regarding, I think I saw one question on the district task force. The district task force will give suggestions to the academic task force as well as the state level. So their suggestions will also be taken into account. So I just wanted to clarify that.
So Sorry about that, Tico. Tara is here, and we have one more question. We have a hand raised by Brijmohan Itawasji. So I'm unmuting him. I don't see him now. Yeah. Brijmohanji, you can go ahead.
अनम्यूट अनम्यूट करने की जरूरत है। हेलो
You are audible.
हेलो
आपकी आवाज आ रही है, प्लीज पूछिए।
आप सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
हाँ, आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
सर मेरा एक हेलो
प्लीज
हेलो
गो अहेड।
हाँ सर मेरा एक सवाल ये था कि एनईपी में भी और एफएलएन की एक चाइल्ड ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम की बात की गई है। सो ये कुछ सेंट्रलाइज चाइल्ड ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम का स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा या स्टेट वाइज अपने लेवल पे हम लोग इसको तैयार कर सकते हैं?
Actually, I want to answer this. Actually, a comprehensive student registry, state and UTs are supposed to develop a comprehensive student registry as well as a school and a teacher registry. But there will be a national level student teacher registry also. So that will be linked to the national level registry. But first of all, the state UTs will have to come up with their own student registry for tracking, end-to-end tracking of students for all levels, in the sense from foundational to the secondary stage.
एक प्रश्न है कि निपुण भारत की जो गाइडलाइंस हैं वो हिंदी में अवेलेबल हैं क्या? उसका हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन फाइनल स्टेज पे है, वो शॉर्टली जो है स्टेट के साथ शेयर की जाए।
आप सुन पा रहे हैं? हेलो
और कोई प्रश्न किसी का? हाय तारा, is anything, I mean, I can see there are no questions. Is anything you want to share? Otherwise, we can, I think, close. Okay, I can see one more question. What will be the standard ratio for mentor teacher?
Actually, there's no specific ratio as such, but states, like some states like Andhra Pradesh has already established the mentor-mentee ratio. So they have come up with 1:10. Like some have come with 1:10, like one mentor per school also. So flexibility has been given to states as per their requirements. So I suggest you can look into the best practice of like Andhra Pradesh, states like Andhra Pradesh. Even Chandigarh, I think, has come up with a mentor-mentee ratio also. So we can learn from each other for that. There's no specified ratio as such.
Any other question? Hi, Tara. Do you want to share anything else? I can see no, there are no questions. Okay. So I guess there is no question. Thank you everyone for participating in this session. I thank Tara also for her presentation and taking up the questions. I hope it brought clarity to all the stakeholders, to all the participants about the stakeholders and the structure we have in NIPUN Bharat mission. If any further query, they can always write to us and we'll be happy to, take up those questions. So I thanks everybody. Please join afternoon session at 3 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, so we can wind up this session, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.